Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Egg and Baby in the morning. Hey, don't worry about that message. That message is just like, hey, are you sure you want to play the game with a Logitech C920? That's a webcam with a G920 racing wheel. And I'm like, yeah, duh. You think I'm a coward? A-Y-8-P G-N-G-Y. We're playing Isaac. We're in the home stretch. Today is the 21st. That means, and I mean, we've got like a 2-day backlog. That means we got like 10 days left until Repentance comes out. I'm excited, like unbelievably so. It's one of those things I still like, I choose not to let myself feel the hype that much as of yet. Mostly because, you know, once you, and I said this maybe a couple months ago, but once you ratchet the hype up, it's impossible to take it back down. It only moves in one direction. It's like RNA polymerase 3. You know what I mean? Kind of. I don't know. Look, it's been a long time since I took either 12th grade biology or molecular genetics. I don't remember. I thought that, you know, one of the DNA polymerase only moves in the, you know, 5 to 3 prime direction or whatever. RNA polymerase moves in the 5 to 3 to 5 prime direction. Look, it doesn't matter. It's the kind of thing, you know, if you might think that being a biologist requires you know that stuff. Admittedly, I would have no idea whether it does or it doesn't as somebody who's not a biologist. My expectation is that after you learn all that stuff, largely they're like, yeah, great job, egghead. Now get the micropipettes cleaned. The PhDs have real work to do. So if you could just, if you could troubleshoot the mass spectrometer and maybe get me a cup of coffee, I'll see you in a bit. I think that's my expectation for what it's like. In case you thought perhaps the baby was not here, that probably illuminated for you that the baby is here. Hello, baby. The baby is, she's having a good time, don't get me wrong, but she's modestly discontent. Like, in a normal fashion for babies, but she is modestly discontent. So check this out. I'm going to do that. I wanted to get hit because we had the HP. We're going to get the benefit of the extra money and also the extra power from Samson's Bloody Lust. That's what it's called. See, I don't even remember the name of the items of this game anymore. I wanted to make sure that we had a chance to get the 5 cents because a library is like the most important thing for us. Or a blood bank. Sorry, it's admittedly it's 9:22 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and also the baby is, you know, what's wrong? What could possibly be the problem? Could it be that the problem is that frog? Frog. We gotta hit a more resplendent note than that. Frog likes to hop, hop, hop. He jumps in the water. It's kind of like in a minor key. I apologize. I don't have control over it. Splish! Splash! The baby's like, oh, snap. It's the trailer for the new Zack Snyder movie. Look, I got nothing to say about the Snyder cut, okay? I have only seen maybe 2/3 of the original Justice League on TV many years after it came out. Certainly, I will not intentionally be... We went to everything on this floor. I will not intentionally be consuming the 4-hour-long Snyder cut, but I have heard, of course... Right, baby? I have heard that it is better. Perhaps even substantially better. I've even heard some people say it's good. Not even just as compared to the original, just in general. Sweetie. You're a little grunt monster this morning. What's up with that? I know, you're probably like, where's Mom? She's sleeping. You should be sympathetic, you know? You're the reason she's gotta take a little nap in the mornings. Takes a lot out of you. I can't even imagine being an organic fountain drink machine for... Okay, look, that's probably not the way she would phrase it, but I look at things more from a literal standpoint. Alright, sweetie, alright. Once we finish this room, we're gonna go on the grunt patrol. We're gonna do a little bouncing. We're gonna get you sorted right out. I really did. She's usually like mildly grunting before an episode, and I'm like, some commentary will lull her right to sleep. What good misplaced confidence Daddy has, right, baby? It's not, you got nothing to apologize for. You're a baby. What are you gonna do? Yeah, you got no problems here. Hey. What's your problem? What do you got? What do you got? You don't. Okay. Check this out. You want to do a little co-op? Sometimes it's easy, or as easy, I should say, as just putting the baby on your lap. If you put the baby on your lap, and I apologize, I have moved a little bit further away from the microphone. You put the baby on your lap, and she's like, whoa. Is this a new chair? Whoa, it's comfy. Little lumpy. And constantly moving, but whoa. Is this a Herman Miller? No, this is Dad. But Dad's sitting on a Herman Miller. You play your cards right, this could all be yours someday. Now it is, I'm not gonna, put blame anywhere, but every time I take damage for the rest of this run, I will filter it through the lens of it's the baby's fault. You can definitely, I think people, I was gonna say I think they're overly protective of babies. That's certainly not the point I'm trying to make. But I think people are always like, oh, you can't blame like you can't blame a baby for anything? Nah, man. I've been blaming this baby, not for bad things, but like, let me just put it this way. Sometimes she do be making some stinkies. What do you go, oh, it's God's gift to vapor? No, you go, hey, come on. I don't think we picked that up yet. I think we wait on that for a second. Now the rub is we have to not get hit there in order to make that worthwhile, but you know what? So be it. That's not so bad. I know, baby. It's still not so bad. Dude, IV-Bag would frickin' slap right now. I don't know what the baby is loving Isaac. She's laughing and smiling? Really? Excuse me, is that a double tinted rock? Hey baby, I was gonna give you some blame instead of, I think I'm gonna give you some credit. Now that's the rare, is it a laugh or is it a cry? I don't know. It's excited. There's no doubt about that. I gotta hang this microphone from the ceiling. Then I can be close. I feel like now I'm shouting into the void. Which is kind of, I guess, like a good metaphor for what this profession is in the first place. So, my apologies for perhaps misrepresenting it, but we had a good weekend this weekend, right, baby? Took a nice long walk, which is really, more or less all we're capable of accomplishing right now. D1 is definitely better when we've got pretty much unlimited bombs. Do we want to try to make a consumable here? Why not? What do you got for me? Paralysis. That's a good one. No. See, this is where you can't be grabbing the microphone, okay? I know it's so tempting to grab it because it's like right there and everything, but no. We don't grab the microphone. Just in general, you don't really grab the microphone unless you're really crooning it, It's not that kind of, we don't do that anymore. Or when like a comedian gets very angry and they go, you know what else? And then they go like, I'm making fun of myself, I guess, to some extent here. You know what's messed up? People who put their shopping carts in the middle of the aisle in the grocery store. I mean, come on, are you stupid or something? Just move to the side. I don't know where this is going. But yeah, baby, we had a nice walk. That was cool, right? Got to see, you know, weather was quite rainy this weekend, but it was nice to get outside. And you know, like, I've talked about, and this is really like a Larry David joke, but talked about how, like, bald men have, like, an awareness of one another in public. They give each other the nod. Now, I have that, in particular, like, I feel like I make about 7 best friends every time I'm outside with the stroller, because I just, I see many other bald dads, and I don't even give them a down nod, I give them an up nod. That's like, hey man, even though we've never met, like, I feel like I know what your spirit's like, you know? I know, baby. I know, it's like, oh my god, why won't he let me grab the microphone? It's the coolest toy ever. I don't want this stupid squeaky giraffe. I don't want this weird avocado. No, man, give me that steel microphone boom arm. That's what I'm looking for. I know, baby. You want the boom arm, huh? Hey, yeah, okay, now I'm a little concerned because some of the buttons on this are capacitive, which means that just basically a small electrical charge. Okay, that's actually very good. Is enough to get them moving, and maybe turn them off or adjust the volume. So I would rather you didn't. You're kind of lucky right now, baby. Like, all the time you've been on my lap, all I've had to do is walk. I haven't even had to use the arrow keys to shoot, but that's about to change. Yeah. That's about to change, baby. What the heck? You know, I shouldn't, but with 9 lives, I really want IV bag or blood bag, and they've hooked me up. Thank you so much. That was a calculated gamble. I would say we got modestly lucky, and at this point, it's just, baby, you don't need to always grab the. It's you know, a portal into the mind of a baby, right, baby? It's a portal into the mind of a baby, because I have a toy that is like almost the exact replica of a microphone boom arm. It is a steel rod with a couple of toys on it that spin around, and she's kind of lost interest in it. But this toy, which is not a toy, is instead a unit of industry. She can't get enough. Riddle me this. Okay, that was just terrible. What are you doing? You have so many bombs. Just get in there. Cause problems. Hey. Yep. Occasionally you may hear the sound of metal rattling. That is the baby smashing the boom arm on purpose, I might add. I should have used the IV bag on the way. You know what? This is one. I think there's a bit of a false dilemma. People will be like, wouldn't it be better if you just placated the baby, and then you got to play a little, like, undistracted? There is no, the baby is placated on a variable reward schedule. There's no guarantee that she will be placated, regardless of the effort's input, for, you know, possibly like several hours. So there's a little bit of a false dilemma there, I would say. So we're just gonna try to make it work, okay? So we got Gimpy and IV Bag, which work insanely well together. And I'm gonna leverage that Gimpy as much as we can. And baby, people always want to know the baby milestones. Baby's been eating some solid food. I joked, but like on Friday, we fed the baby a little avocado. By the way, this is all according to the book. Literally, like, we have 2 books on baby, you know, solid foods. There's like different philosophies. I shouldn't have done it this way, but that's okay. There's different philosophies on, like, how to feed solid food to your baby. Please, thank you. One of them is, like, you know, you make basically like porridges and pureed fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So we've been doing a lot of that. I actually think we got a great setup here. I hate to say it because the golden teleporter can be fun, but and the other one is you kind of let the baby, you steam vegetables, or you get vegetables that can be consumed raw, and you just kind of cut them into slices and then let the baby have at them. we've been doing a little bit of both, honestly. And so we had the baby eating some avocado on her own. And I joked, but it's also kind of real, that officially our baby is, I would say, less of a picky eater than my dad at this point. Now, I don't think that I would expect to see, you know, our child taking down 12 buffalo wings anytime soon. Or eating a big bowl of goulash or something like that. But it could happen. I shouldn't be, I mean, I'm making a joke that's at my dad's expense, but it is a joke. He isn't really a super picky eater. Who? He just, he has some weird food preferences. Like, he doesn't like avocado, which is fine. You can not like it. It's actually, if I had to be honest with you, I think it's one of the easiest foods to understand not liking. Because it really is kind of like vegetable butter. Hey, yeah. Wow, you're really doing a great job of, like, I put you in a position where I didn't think you'd be able to hit the microphone, and yet you're still doing it. That's crazy. I'm impressed. A little perturbed as well, but certainly, like, you know, both your fine and coarse motor skill you know, they're really impressive. So we definitely do want this, and we will replace probably the D1. The D1 is great, don't get me wrong, but I do feel, perhaps against, you know, other people's better judgment, like this is the right time to kind of leverage ourselves. Didn't turn out that well, but with 9 lives, we were in a pretty low-risk situation. Baby, I'm begging you. We're not even taking those items. We're in a very good spot here. The number one thing that I laugh about, and we laugh about it together. You know, you got to be honest with yourself when you, especially as you get a little older. And if you're not honest about yourself with your family, like, who are you going to be honest with yourself about? Like, you won't tell your mom what your favorite food is, but you'll, like, you know, tell your hopes and dreams to some anonymous friends on Discord. We got to work on reversing that trend, okay? Brittle Bones? Brittle Bones is a tiers upgrade. Give me a second here. Give me a second. This is all going to work out. We want to not pick that up just yet. Because it would be better for us. You know what? No, we want to pick it up, and then... Will this work? Hold on. We're taking it too far. I'm lost. There we go. Yeah. Even more. More? Okay, that's enough. We've lost almost all of our bone hearts, but you know what? In exchange for the tiers upgrades, I would absolutely take that, but we need some red hearts to finance our Bloody Lust plays. The thing I laugh about is that, like, my dad is... I would call it, like, almost, pathologically concerned that any food might have mayonnaise in it. He is not allergic to mayonnaise. He doesn't like it, which is fair. I also sometimes, it's pretty easy to get grossed out when you see, like, a huge glob of, like, you know, fatty mayonnaise on something. If somebody put like a cup of mustard, like 250 milliliters of mustard on something, I would be so happy. That equivalent amount of mayonnaise, I would not eat for 48 hours. Just make me guppy. Like, we've done a good job on a macro level here. They're making me guppy. Look at this. These pretzels are making me guppy. How did that go so wrong? I don't know, but we're... You know what? No. I'm fine. Yeah, let's just... Not leave yet, but... Hey, baby. This is an insanely great run. Took a little while on the first floor, admittedly, but... So that means, like... A, he won't eat mayonnaise, which is fine. But it really poses a problem, because he also does not like... aiolis, or, you know, sometimes a so-called, like, fancy sauce will contain a mayonnaise component. Or, and this is the one that starts to get you, even if a sauce is just white, he assumes that it's white because of mayonnaise, which I must admit is largely somewhat true. You okay here, baby? You alright? Well, this hoodie's gonna have to be washed. You okay, sweetie? Oh, she's smiling up a storm. Oh my god. I was worried that she was gonna be, like, bored, but no, she's like, this is great. I've just ruined your hoodie. He's not wrong, you know, like a lot of white sauces are, you know, mayonnaise based, but he really has like a mayonnaise paranoia to the extent like, you know, even if something is made with like cream cheese, even if you tell him it's cream cheese, he'll be like, oh, I can't enjoy this. Like, you can tell he's like struggling with it because he thinks it's mayonnaise. Like, we were gonna go to an Indian restaurant a couple of times ago when they were here in Vancouver. And then my dad looked at the menu and he was like, I don't know, like a lot of this stuff seems cream based. And I'm like, is that where we're at now? You're like Madonna, you know, like no white foods. I don't know how we got to the point where, and any food that is the color white is like, now it's mayonnaise. But anyway, you know, it's the kind of, you gotta respect it. Like, you know, I owe him, you know, an enormous debt of material and also gratitude for raising me. And secondarily, you know, he's an adult. He knows what he likes and he doesn't like. But there are some times where I'm like, come on, man. You can eat an aioli. I don't even think an aioli is always mayonnaise. I thought it was, it might be olive oil and mayonnaise. Okay, never mind. So I grew up thinking I didn't like mayonnaise, because, like, my dad doesn't like mayonnaise. And then when I got older, I started eating, you know, dips and aiolis and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, why is this so tangy? It's delicious. And people were like, yeah, that's what mayonnaise tastes like, dummy. And I was like, But even still, I'm kind of teasing it apart. I'm not fully convinced. Oh my god, baby. I'm still not fully convinced I like mayonnaise. Like, I still, sometimes I'm like, I don't like it. You gotta, like, sneak it in. Like, I like eating it, but only if I know it's not there. Baby. You might think, by the way, that she's been calmer. Pardon me, it's not the case. I am just engaging in, like, the ultimate kind of, like, keep talking and nobody explodes game right now, where her arms are constantly trying to reach for the microphone. Hey, baby, do you think it's possible, like, even for just a minute or two, I could put you down into the bouncer? Sometimes I can make her laugh. You ready for this? Hey, baby. Hey, you ready? The little kind of response. She doesn't care anymore. How about we go up in the air a little? Hey. Nothing? Nothing? Okay, I think she's gonna cry, but I have to try. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the bouncer for just a sec. Yeah. No, frog likes to hop, hop, hop. He jumps in the water. Splish, splash. Yeah, see? Fundamentally, it's exactly the same experience, but we have to figure out what kind of, like, the arbitrary, like, baby triggers for being upset are. I know, see? Like, but then you'd think, like, oh, the baby doesn't like the bouncer. But then yesterday, she was all about the bouncer. She didn't like the boppy, which is like a chair that we can put the the baby into, and then she kind of like lounges. Now she turns into like Rocky from Rocky 4 when we put her in that. She's doing sit-ups the whole time, and then she's like, ugh! And I'm like, yeah, your stomach hurts because you've been doing sit-ups for an hour and a half. I'm pretty impressed, and to be honest with you, a little bit jealous as well, quite frankly, but Whip. I know, baby. I mean, to be honest, this is kind of what I would sound like if I consumed 200 milliliters of milk every 2 hours for my entire life. I can't really suggest that I wouldn't be in exactly the same position. Oh no. Okay. You want to sit on Daddy's lap and bite his sleeve? Okay. There you go. She's like, yeah, what's wrong with this? This is the greatest. And then I can reach back and smack your... Oh, and bless you. Yeah. Okay. Who? Very subtle difference between happy baby sound and unhappy baby sound. That's another sneeze. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah. So that's our baby milestone lately. She's been eating some solid foods. Which is cool. It's I mean, I have to be honest, you'd think like that's like a big win. But it means that, you know, like, it takes so long, and I remember talking about this when we first had her, that, like, Stank Depths one, okay. You forget, like, you take for granted how long it took you to learn to be a human being. Even if you consider yourself to not be, like, an enormous success, from the perspective of, like, what you've learned to be the kind of failure you consider yourself. I didn't say you're a failure. I know Gen Z humor. I'm trash. Haha. Oh, I got 2 questions wrong on my test. I'm trash. Oh, plus planet Earth sign anyway. Okay? Like, I get it. But just to get to that level, you've already accomplished so much. Because the baby, you know, we give her a little avocado wedge. She doesn't put it in her mouth. You know, she, like, brings it close to her mouth and mashes it on her cheeks or, you know, her chin or something like that. And then, you know, she tries to eat it, but she doesn't remember that, like, when you eat it, you also have to keep your mouth closed. So it kind of, like, dribbles out and then gets all over her bib and her face and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. You gotta remember, man. Like, just to be, like, even close to a functioning member of society is, like, decades of apprenticeship. On top of, like, learning a skill that you can actually maybe, like, you know, use as your job. It's crazy, man. I'm stunned that people are out there on a daily basis, like, learning how to do anything. It's crazy to me. Like, because now I think about it. The speed at which this baby is learning is outrageous. Like, I feel like I learn 2 things a year. This baby is like, her brain doubles every 2 weeks, right? It's madness. But like, there's so much, like, you haven't even learned how to, like, even just consider something like walking. You know, for walking, you gotta learn how to walk, which is like its own multidisciplinary practice. And then you gotta learn how to put shoes on. Then you gotta learn how to tie your shoes. Then you gotta learn how to go to, StockX.com and build a Python bot that's capable of scrubbing the cheapest sneakers that maybe have been placed on the website with a 0 in the wrong spot or like with 1 too many decimal points or whatever. I know, but it's so complicated now. Back in my day, you just go to a flea market and say, you got any old boots? They give you a pair of old boots with a big hole in them, and you'd say, thank you very much, sir. And they'd be like, that's $1 million. And you'd be like, what? Then they'd be like, just kidding, it's 1996. How about 45 cents? And you'd be like, all right, that sounds okay. I have no idea what that bit is even trying to be spiritually. Something about the dang kids these days, always with their sneakers. They don't just come out with sneakers anymore. They're all auctions and secondary markets and Python bots and et ceteras and et ceteras. Baby, baby, have mercy. Have mercy. What? I don't know what you're rebelling against. But yeah, you know, it's like you learn, like, you learn so much, man. It's crazy. Like, 2nd graders are like, actually, like, to me right now, they look like Albert Einstein. Whenever, like, sometimes Kate will watch, like, some parenting videos on YouTube, and there'll be, like, yeah, you know, like, one of the things we're gonna work on making you learn is that, like, tilting your head with that angle is pretty bad for your neck. But yeah, I'm right here. Hello, I'm right here. Hey, I'm right, yeah, you don't need to keep looking back. Daddy's right here. It's just you're twisted. Yep, here she goes again. Well, and there you go. You're trying to slip off of Santa's lap here. What are you doing, you crazy baby? And sometimes you know, certainly would not say I'm the most experienced father in the world right now, but there are people, you know, in the community who are like, "Hey, we're having our first baby soon. Do you have any advice?" Yeah, I mean, as a dad, especially, like, I mean this sincerely. It's gonna seem like a super negative, but I mean it sincerely. Like, you're gonna love your child more than you've ever loved anything else on planet Earth. Yes, even the end of Evangelion. It will surpass that, or at least it should. But also prepare yourself. Really just get used to the idea of never ever having free time. At least for the next, couple of years. It might be different, if you got family that can come and, help you out, that would be a huge asset. But particularly, in COVID, is you and your partner, like, on the clock all the time. Even the time that you would think might be free time, it's like being on call at, like, a psychic hospital. It's, okay, sure, yeah. I made this analogy up on the fly, but I kind of like it. What I mean by that is, well, I suppose I mean a couple of different things. We don't need IV bag anymore. Hold on, I gotta think for just a second. What I mean by that, like, predominantly, we could have taken 2 Pandora's box. That would have been funny. Is that, you will never be able to plan for having, more than, I would say, like, 5 minutes of free time. Even when the baby's asleep, it changes at the drop of a hat. Which is fine, they're babies. It's what happens. You can't be, like, upset about it. Is it 2? No, it's Ace of Clubs this time. Okay. Ace of Clubs. Hello. I haven't heard you in a while. You might think you have an hour, and then all of a sudden, there's grunting. You might think you have, 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, she stays asleep for 2 hours, and you're like, I really should have, taken the garbage out during that window. It just is what it is, And it's just sort of the thing that I think the quicker you come to terms with, the better off you're going to be. As soon as you start to recognize that having the expectation that you will have any time at all to do what you... I mean, it sounds so bad, but really, like, it's like a good coping mechanism, I think, is, there were some times where I was, and let me put it this way. Anytime I've had frustrations, it's been because, like, I thought I needed to do something, and then, real life baby stuff got in the way, and I wasn't frustrated with the baby, but I'm like, I'm frustrated, like, I really wanted to, like, get this thing done, but I wasn't able to do so. And I think in the past couple of months, I've just abandoned the notion that I will ever be able to get anything done. Yep, that's not how you do that, but that's fine. Instead, basically, instead of being like, I have to get XYZ done today, or I'll feel like I haven't accomplished anything, instead of that, I'm just like, hey, my job today is just, roll with the punches, stay flexible, and anything that I do get done is a bonus. That's the ticket. Like yesterday, I managed to get a couple of errands done. Did some, tax stuff. We're gonna hold Pandora's box until the cathedral, by the way. Did some tax stuff, scanned some forms that I've been putting off for a week or two because I haven't had a chance, honestly. Cleaned my desk, and then, went out for a nice walk with wife and baby. And I was like, you know what, that's a good day. But there's some days where you're going to be like, I just need 2 minutes to sign this form, and it's not going to happen. I know you might be looking for some actionable advice, like, when you change the diapers, turn your wrist 35 degrees to the left. No, you're going to figure all that stuff out on the job. Like, I'm like kind of a psychological guy, I think. The biggest, and again, I can't stress enough that for all the complaining, like, this is complaining adult to adult. On, like, a family level, and particularly, like, a fatherly level, it's unbelievably rewarding. And I look forward to it every day. Like, it's, you gotta love it to wake up at, like, 7 a.m. Did I hit the button? I think I hit the button, like a fool. To wake up at 7 a.m. every day with a smile on your face, and you know that the first thing you're gonna do is, like, reach into a big poopy diaper. Like, you gotta love it, right? But think, all the other stuff about, like, get used to having no sleep and stuff like that, like, that's a gimme. You're gonna figure that out for yourself. Psychologically, for me, I think it's more important to kind of change your model to think about things, because a baby is not like It's like the most irrational system on planet Earth, you know? I'm a rational adult. Not all adults are rational. Like, a lot of adults are like, you know, I feel bad. And then you're like, have you eaten anything? And they're like, no. And then you're like, go get something to eat. And they're like, I don't wanna. And you're like, okay, well, it seems I understand where you're coming from on this one, but I don't think I'm the right man for this job. I think we have reached an impasse. My action item for you is to go get a snack and drink a glass of water, and then, you know, let's approach the conversation from there. You gotta start with halt, right? Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? We start from there, and then, you know, I got no problem discussing, you know, the state you find yourself in, but we've at least got to handle the base level, like, physiological concerns first. A baby's not like that, you know? I mean, they will let you know when they're hungry and tired and, you know, in need of some attention for sure, but sometimes they're just like, guess what? I'm gonna be like the quietest baby of all time today. And sometimes they're like, guess what? I'm gonna scream nonstop. And it's probably not for no reason. You know, maybe they got some little baby teeth poking their way in there, but I think the quicker you come to terms with the fact that it's gonna be irrational, and the better a sense of humor you have, the better off you're gonna be. Let's put it that way. That's my advice. All the other stuff you're gonna figure out. Like, don't even sweat it. Like, I gotta be honest with you. Being in maybe like I'm coming at this from still sort of a sheltered or early position. Like, being a dad to a baby is not really that hard. If you're a single parent, I feel for you. I think it's a Herculean task. But, you know, for the most part, if you're in it together, if you got some support, it's not that hard. It's just that you really, every day, there's no day where you're like, oh, today's daddy time. We're gonna go shoot some pool, right? It's really like, I got 8 minutes. I haven't even, you know, defecated today, but instead of defecating, I'm gonna reply to this important email. And then 2 minutes after that, she's like, I need attention immediately. Because you're a little attention gremlin. But we wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I've become one of those dads. I don't meet anybody because of COVID in particular, but my phone is just freaking chock full of cute baby photos. Like, did you see the one where she's wearing the new merch beanie? It's so good. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, say goodbye, baby. Goodbye, baby. That wasn't her, that was me. Thanks for watching. Exciting week of Twitch entertainment plan. Twitch.tv/Northernlion. Give me a follow. And of course, subscribe on YouTube. Repentance is coming out soon. It'll be a lot of fun. And click the like button if you enjoyed it. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!